Alright guys, welcome back to the EXP show where I share my experience of becoming the biggest artist on the planet. Today's episode 4, I have nothing to talk about, let's get into it. Right now I'm on my ruck, I got about 10 minutes left. I think today is 33 or 34 of 75 hard. So we're getting in there. This is supposed to be around the time where you kind of hit the point of no return. It's not exactly halfway, but it's like, damn, you've invested so much time and energy into this. And at least someone like me who has failed before, or at least I thought I failed, but I never even actually did it right way in the first place. Whatever, go back to episode 0 if you don't know what I'm talking about. I remember that feeling of when I failed. I was like 20 something days in, and that shit crushed me, dude. Like, that is such a painful, like, dude, just knowing that you have no one to blame but yourself. Like, there was no outside circumstances. There was no, like, super big, like, you know, I broke my foot and, like, I couldn't, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was literally just me. I just failed myself. And that feeling was horrible. So whenever I get close to thinking that I might want to, like, whenever I have that feeling in my head of the bitch voice, it's just like, yo, take a day off, like, yo, just chill, relax, like, you know, you don't want to do this, you're tired. I just remember that pain, and I'm like, fuck that. I'd much rather just do a 45-minute workout than go through the pain of knowing that I failed. So that's what keeps me going, honestly. Unless you've really experienced pain, it's not really going to be easy to just tap into that super easily. So, I don't know, it's a blessing and a curse. If you haven't experienced pain, good for you, because that shit sucks. But also, when you need that energy to push through some hard shit, it's without having that memory, that painful memory, it's gonna be hard to give yourself motivation. So I'm on my ruck, and there's not much to it. I mean, today, I guess if I were to analyze my day and give a recap, I would give myself like a failing grade, because although I'm winning the day in terms of completing 75 hard, I definitely could have maximized more, because I only have one day off a week where I actually get to just stay away from work and do whatever I want and not have to. And so right now I'm taking, well, yeah, fuck it, it's fine. I don't mind putting it out there. Basically right now, the way my shit is set up, I take care of my son for 2 days a week, and then I have one day off from work, sometimes no days off from work, because I work either 4 or 5 days a week depending on the schedule, and then the other days I'm working. So I can get work done, like I can work on music and whatnot, even on my work days. But with 75 hard, it makes it kind of difficult because I'm constantly either meal prepping, doing errands, or working out. And it doesn't leave that much time for like really locking in and having long sessions for mixing and mastering my project that I'm working on, RPG Volume 1. So my one day off, I really should focus the most time and energy on music, because that's all I really have to get a long session in. But for today, for example, even though I could have done that, instead I ended up hanging out with one of my friends. And it's like, not a big deal. Sorry, this is genuinely difficult. I don't know if you guys realize, like, whenever I tell people about rucking, they make it seem like it's such a simple thing, like, oh, you're just walking. It's like, no, motherfucker, like, this shit hurts so much. But whatever. Like, hanging out with friends is good, right? Like, you can't just, you know, be locked in all the time. But at the same time, it really is just a waste of time. Like, if I'm being honest, like, I wasted time today. Like, I woke up mad late, and if I was really on my shit, I would have woke up early, got my obligations out of the way, got my music work done out of the way, and then only then would I be like, okay, I have some time to hang out because I did all the stuff I need to get done. But all I did was I slept in because I stayed up late last night meal prepping and shit and doing my pages, and just kind of like recovering because I have been like building up a little bit of sleep debt. And then I woke up today, I worked out. I actually switched my workout today too. I've been doing like a lot of like strength circuit training, but now I'm switching to more hypertrophy, so that way I can actually like build a little bit more and get a little bit bigger than just gain strength. Anyways, after that I did my pages, and the pages takes a while, especially with this book, because I'm really taking my time and going in depth and really taking notes, like I said before. So by the time I was done with that, all I really had time to do was eat lunch, and then I drove over to the homie and we were hanging out for like, I don't know, 2 hours maybe? I can't really remember, 2 or 3 hours. And then right afterwards, I basically I'm on my ruck now, and now I'm about to go home, eat dinner, and I have to wake up mad early to open at work tomorrow. And it's like, I didn't really work on music at all today. And I definitely could have just told the homie, yo, I can't hang out today. I gotta work on music instead, sorry. Not even say sorry, because you don't need to apologize for it, but it's like, it just is what it is. I decided to sleep in so I could recover physically, and as a result, I'm not gonna have time to hang out. And that should have been my priority to instead, work on mixing a song, because I had the energy to do it. I had the focus right now where I'm like, if I put my mind to it, I could do it. But I just didn't. I decided I just wanted to hang out and chill. And that's my mistake and that's my fault. And I'm always gonna criticize myself and recognize that I could do better. There's always room for improvement and shit. And I don't know, it's weird because whenever I talk to people about this type of stuff, like I said before, they look at it in such a negative way, like, oh, don't be so hard on yourself. Don't beat yourself up. It's like, I'm not beating myself up. I'm not being hard on myself. I'm just holding myself accountable. And I guess to someone who doesn't hold himself accountable at all, it looks like you're beating yourself up, which is really funny. But I have to keep reminding myself that, like I said before, there's someone out there that's doing the exact same shit I'm doing. And if I don't stay on the gas, if I don't put my foot on the gas and keep going forward, they're gonna blow right past me. And all the opportunities that I'm looking for, they're gonna snatch up. I know we like to believe we have all the time in the world. It's just not true. You know what I'm saying? I have a window and it's slowly closing every single day. And my job is to keep fighting to make sure that window stays open. So in the future, I'm gonna make that commitment. I'm gonna prioritize myself. I'm gonna say, you know what? No, I have to get this shit done because I owe it to myself too much. And this temporary, piece of little, dopamine or happiness that I get from just relaxing and just kicking it and talking shit is great. It's fun, but it's nowhere near as great as what's gonna happen when I invest time into the music, when I invest time into myself and I build something truly, truly great. So that way, instead of having to work around little windows and having a day off here or there, now I get to make my own schedule because I work for myself, because I worked for it, etc., etc. I can't believe I'm actually stringing thoughts together right now. I'm really fucking exhausted. How far are we? We got like 3-4 more minutes on this ruck, so we're getting towards the end. That's about it. I guess this episode title will be Holding Myself Accountable. I fucked up today. You know what I mean? And it's funny because to most other people, today would be such a win. Like, I woke up, I worked out hard, I read a lot of pages. I read like 20 pages today, studied, took notes. I barely watched any YouTube. I barely did any of the stuff that I usually do, where I like watch YouTube for a long time and just like do nothing. And I stayed on my shit. Like, I did my 75 hard shit. I drank my gallon. I'm on my last little bit right now. I'm sticking to my diet. Like, I don't know. It's just interesting because every time you start becoming a better version of yourself, quote unquote, even though I don't like how that sounds, but it's just true, I guess, your standard gets raised. So now my standard isn't just working out every single day. That's my new normal. So working out every single day, that's not just a win anymore. That's just my baseline. And now it's like, okay, with the time I have left, am I maximizing it as much as possible? Because it'd be really easy for me to say, okay, well, let me focus only on 75 hard. And then once I'm done with that, then I'll work on the music. But I know I have time. I know I have the ability to do both, even though I'm obviously putting more priority on 75 hard. So I owe it to myself. And yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. So the next time something happens, I think I'm gonna just be like, yo, I love myself way more than I love hanging out with you, basically. As fucked up as that sounds. But you gotta be selfish if you really wanna win. And that's what I really want to give you guys a good insight into, because a lot of times when people become rich and famous and successful and whatnot, you guys call it selfish. And you say like, oh, well, blah, 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 you're being greedy. Oh, you're really selfish. And it's like, yeah, I had to become selfish, because before I was selfish, I was fucking broke and working a 9 to 5 and working a job I hated. And I barely had time to do the shit that I love. But now that I'm selfish and I invested all this time into myself, now you actually know who I am. So the only reason you're able to criticize me is because I worked my ass off by being selfish for my name to even get out there. You know, it's so funny how people don't see like the layers of how this shit goes, but it is what it is. That's all I got for y'all. Let's do better. Peace.